Reds is a 1981 American epic historical drama film directed, produced, and co-written by Warren Beatty, who also stars as the lead character, John Reed. The movie chronicles the life and career of Reed, a radical journalist from Portland, Oregon, whose passion for social justice and revolutionary ideals draws him into the heart of early 20th century political upheavals. The story begins in 1915, introducing Reed as a Harvard-educated writer returning home to visit his mother. There, he encounters Louise Bryant, portrayed by Diane Keaton, a married woman and aspiring journalist married to a local dentist. Louise is intelligent, ambitious, and dissatisfied with her conventional life in Portland. She attends a lecture by Reed on the Mexican Revolution, and their meeting sparks an immediate intellectual and romantic connection. Reed, already known for his leftist writings and coverage of labor strikes, inspires Louise to pursue her own voice in journalism. Despite her marriage, she begins an affair with Reed, and soon they decide to leave Portland together for the bohemian enclave of Greenwich Village in New York City. In Greenwich Village, Reed and Bryant immerse themselves in a vibrant community of artists, intellectuals, and radicals. Reed continues his work as a correspondent for socialist publications, like reporting on events such as the Patterson Silk Strike and the Colorado Coalfield War. He becomes increasingly committed to socialist causes, advocating for workers' rights and opposing American involvement in World War I. Louise, meanwhile, struggles to establish her identity as a writer amid the male-dominated circles. She faces jealousy and insecurity in her relationship with Reed, who is often away on assignments. Their romance is complicated by the arrival of playwright Eugene O'Neill, played by Jack Nicholson, who develops a deep affection for Louise. O'Neill represents a more cynical, artistic perspective, contrasting with Reed's fervent activism. Louise briefly leaves Reed for O'Neill, seeking emotional fulfillment, but she ultimately realizes her bond with Reed is unbreakable. They reconcile, and Louise begins to contribute her own articles on feminist issues and the war. As the United States edges toward entering World War I in 1917, Reed and his associates face government crackdowns on dissent. The Espionage Act suppresses radical publications, forcing the masses to close. Undeterred, Reed co-founds a new magazine, The Liberator, and aligns more closely with the emerging communist movement. He travels to Russia to witness the Bolshevik Revolution firsthand, arriving in Petrograd just as the October Revolution unfolds. The film vividly depicts the chaos and excitement of those days. Street battles, workers' councils, and the rise of Lenin and Trotsky. Reed embeds himself with the revolutionaries, interviewing key figures and documenting the events that would form the basis of his famous book, 10 Days That Shook the World. Louise joins him in Russia, enduring hardships like food shortages and political intrigue. Their relationship deepens amid the turmoil, but ideological differences emerge. Louise, while supportive, grows wary of the revolution's harsh realities, including the suppression of dissent within the Bolshevik ranks. Back in America, Reed attempts to import the revolutionary spirit by helping found the Communist Labor Party of America. However, internal factionalism and government raids, such as the Palmer raids, hinder his efforts. He returns to Russia in 1919 to attend the Second Congress of the Communist International, hoping to secure recognition for his party faction. There, he clashes with Soviet leaders over American exceptionalism and the role of trade unions. Disillusioned by the bureaucratization of the revolution, Reed falls ill with typhus while imprisoned briefly in Finland during his journey. Louise, demonstrating her devotion, travels through blizzards and war zones to reach him in Moscow. She arrives too late to save him, as Reed dies in 1920 at the age of 32. The film intersperses the narrative with interviews from real life. Witnessed elderly radicals and contemporaries like Henry Miller and Rebecca West who provide personal anecdotes about Reed and Bryant, adding a documentary layer to the drama. Throughout, Reds explores themes of idealism versus pragmatism, the personal costs of political commitment, and the complexities of love in turbulent times. Warren Beatty's direction captures grand historical sweeps with intimate character moments, using sweeping cinematography by Vittorio Storaro to portray the vast Russian landscapes and crowded New York streets. Diane Keaton's performance as Louise Bryant highlights her evolution from a provincial wife to a fierce independent woman, while Maureen Stapleton delivers an Oscar-winning turn as anarchist Emma Goldman, who mentors Reed and critiques the Bolsheviks' authoritarian turn. Jack Nicholson's Eugene O'Neill adds emotional depth, portraying unrequited love and artistic angst. The film's score by Stephen Sondheim and Dave Grusin enhances the episcope, blending period music with original compositions. Red stands as a testament to the human spirit is pursuit of change, even as it acknowledges the revolution's betrayals. It portrays Red not as a flawless hero, but as a passionate, flawed individual driven by a vision of equality. The movie received critical acclaim, earning 12 Academy Award nominations and wins for Best Director Beatty, Best Supporting Actress Stapleton, and Best Cinematography. At over 3 hours long, it demands attention but rewards viewers with a rich tapestry of history, romance, and ideology. The narrative underscores how personal relationships intersect with global events, showing that revolutions are fought not only on battlefields but in hearts and minds. The story concludes with Lewis's life after Reed's death. She continues as a journalist, marries diplomat William Siebold, and later reflects on her experiences in memoirs. Yet the film's heart remains with the fiery days of 1917, when hope for a new world seemed within grasp. Reds reminds audiences that the quest for justice endures, even amid disappointment.